Today's Cowboys Report is made possible by True Classic Tees, i.e. the shirt I'm wearing right now. Get 25% off your order at trueclassictees.com/chat when you use promo code chat. That link's in the comments section and in the description of today's show. A fairly jam-packed news and rumor situation here. We got some Dalton Schultz updates. Not sure it's good, by the way. The latest on a potential Dak Prescott return. Stephen Jones on his salary cap situation. The play of Tyler Smith. I'm going to be blunt, a stupid idea of trading for Sam Darnold. Plus, John Ridgeway news. But first, let's go to Dalton Schultz. He has a PCL injury, potentially not unlike the one that Ezekiel Elliott suffered last year. As we sit here filming this, unclear if he will miss any time. It'll be a wait-and-see approach from that standpoint. There's an extra day of recovery for Schultz since he's playing on Monday Night Football. We'll keep an eye on his participation at practice this week. If he does miss time, I'm not sure it's going to be an IR stint. 9 catches, 80 yards, a nearly game-breaking fumble in Week 2, but he was one of your top returning playmakers because you got rid of so many of them. If Dalton Schultz misses time, not really sure what the Cowboys are going to do. It's going to be Jake Ferguson as your next man up, of course, at that position, at the tight end position. But Sean McEwen is on the practice squad. He was a bit banged up. He could be a game day promotion, but you're trying to promote Will Grier and Alec Lindstrom each week to add some depth there. So that only do 2 active rush tight ends. There's some numbers game that might need to be played here by the Cowboys. If they start to make roster moves, we will break it down for you here on the Cowboys Report. Free videos every single day when you hit that big red button and subscribe. Don't miss out on anything here at the Dallas Cowboys Report. Unfortunately, we can now add John Ridgeway to the list of Dallas Cowboys legends, all caps, meme intended. Ridgeway did not clear waivers today as the Cowboys had hoped. The Commanders won the claim. There were apparently multiple teams that put in a waiver claim for John Ridgeway. Dallas does not get him on the practice squad. The 5th-round pick's time already appears to be over in Dallas. He had been a backup for them. He didn't do much in the preseason. Cowboys had a roster crunch. Ridgeway ends up being the odd man out. Let's talk Stephen Jones and Dak Prescott here. Here's Stephen Jones said pregame on Sunday, he's got a chance, maybe the 3rd or 4th game. We'll see what happens in regards to Dak Prescott. Now, some of the big J's out there read that as he's back by week 3. It's not what Stephen Jones meant. He meant back by 3rd or 4th game since the injury. So that could be returning as soon as week 4. Every time the Cowboys open up their mouths about the Dak thumb injury, it's the timeline shorter. From 6 to 8, from 4 to 6, to now maybe 3 games total. I kind of don't believe them because they lie a lot about injuries. But here's your next 5 games. He's not going to play week 3. He may play week 4. Then 2 very difficult games. Honestly, 2 of your toughest tests left on the entire schedule. Week 5 at the Rams, week 6 at the Eagles. Lions then in week 7. Somewhere in that 4 to 7 time frame, it's Bears week 8, bye in week 9, Dak could return. I also don't want to rush Dak Prescott back because that's a good way to get your quarterback hurt again, and now you've got potentially bigger problems. So be Dr. Jerry, or maybe it's Dr. Steven right now. Be one of the Jones doctors. Sued for negligence multiple times. When will Dak return? Is it week 5, week 4, week 6, week 7? Get those predictions in for me at the pinned comment. So if the ad break comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know. Let's talk Stephen Jones here, because I got thoughts. Stephen Jones has made some comments on the cap space the Cowboys have and have spent already, at least according to Stephen Jones, which I find very interesting. Here's what Stephen Jones said. We spend every bit of our cap at the end of the day. You get to move your cap forward. We move it all if we have room, because we're trying to figure out how we assign a player in the future. Then we can certainly move that forward because, as you know, we did rework a multitude of contracts to get the room in the first place. So what you're doing is pushing money that was scheduled to go against the cap and pushing it forward. We want to be able to have that ability if the right situation arises, but if we don't, we didn't necessarily have to rework a contract. So what Stephen Jones is saying, we spend our money. We've spent it in the future, which, to be clear, is not how good teams operate. I'll go more in depth on why here, but how about a positive thing for you instead? That is True Classic Tees. 25% off when you use promo code CHAT over at trueclassictees.com/chat. They're incredibly comfortable, and they actually fit you. Like, you're not the mannequin guy unless, I don't know, unless maybe you're Mitch. Like, you don't have the mannequin body structure. Nobody really does. Might be too loose or tight up here, or if you're like me, around here. Whether you're buff or maybe not so buff or somewhere in between, True Classic Tees actually fit you. They highlight the good parts about you and help disguise, cover up the bad parts, like a good coaching staff is supposed to do at least. 25% off at trueclassictees.com/chat. That link is in the comments section and in the description of today's show. It's trueclassictees.com/chat. Should apply the promo code. If not, it's promo code CHAT at checkout. Back to Stephen Jones here. He tells you that we spend our money. It's insulting. It is insulting for Stephen Jones to think that me, you, especially producer Jeremy, are stupid. That's what he's doing. This is the great pie lie, as I'm going to call it, by Stephen Jones. He tells you, you know what? We spent it. We carried it over, which is true. Any money you don't spend on the salary cap gets carried over. Here's the thing. You can always create more cap space. You can always push money off into the future. You can do it every single year, and that's what the Rams and Saints have done. And they spend money every year. The Cowboys, in terms of active money spent, have been a bottom 5 cap spender in the NFL. The actual money they've spent in cash is bottom 5 for 15 plus years now, 10 plus years now. They don't spend money. They might spend their salary cap, but it's not like a $10,000 max or $20,000 max on your credit card. There isn't a limit. Now, there should be some self-imposed limit, but the cap is always going to go up. You can always create more money. The credit card analogy that some people try to use don't work. If you know, and this is a fact that you know it, if you know that you can either spend $80 now when you have $100, or you can spend $85 now, and you're going to get a free $20 next week, why wouldn't you spend that $5? Yes, you're saving money short term, but you're not actually spending the way you should be spending. The Cowboys are lying to you, to your face, about the way they spend their money, hoping you'll believe it. The Cowboys, this is a Stephen Jones thing, do not spend real dollars. They get near the cap, but they're not spending the same amount of money. They're a bottom 3 team this year in active cash spent, with the Falcons, the Bears, and the Giants around them. 3 rebuilding teams. Dallas is being cheap. Don't let them fool you. They're so scared of a Brandon Carr deal again that they don't want to spend money, period. And what they'll do next year, by the way, is say this player has so much pie taken up. They'll say it's the quarterback contract's fault, even though Dak costs less against the cap this year than Patrick Mahomes does. The Chiefs spent money. They might have let go of Tyreek Hill, but they still spent. I have no faith in Stephen Jones with the way he currently operates this franchise. It's not going to change unless he makes drastic adjustments. He doesn't want to spend money. He doesn't want to be aggressive with the cap. They are so worried about having a bad deal that they'll just have more bad deals they won't spend. They play the salary cap not to lose, and that always ends up being the case that they lose. So what's your confidence level then in Stephen Jones? 1 to 100, sound off in the comments section. Back to positivity here. How about Tyler Smith's play? I think he's fared quite well at left tackle. The flip side is, and we'll go more in depth into why I mention this, Matt Farniok has not fared that well at left guard. Here are the numbers for Smith. These are all per Pro Football Focus, but again, no one tracks offensive line stats, so I have what I have here. 1 sack, 1 hit, 1 hurry, 1 penalty in 2 games. And his run grade's been pretty solid. A couple times he's gotten beat. A couple miscommunications on the offensive line, which I think is on Tyler Smith. But He's done well. I have been impressed by Smith so far. He's no prime Tyron Smith, but he has not been your problem at all on offense or on the offensive line. Here's what you're going to run into. Matt Farniok is bad. He is getting beat. He's good. He's fine in the run game. The passing game, he's a liability right now. Jason Peters is one of your best 5, especially with Connor McGovern hurt. But he's too old to probably properly play right tackle. It's going to lead to issues and injuries and mistakes. He was bad at guard last time we played him there, but Tyler Smith has played good at left tackle. Came back into left guard. If you want to get your best 5 out there, yes. But if you want to play Smith left tackle, how do you do that? That's the issue Dallas faces right now. Maybe we'll get more information after week 3 and have a better feel for that point there. So what do you think? Should Tyler Smith stay at left tackle? Y for yes, N for no. Y or N? Sound off for me in the comments section. All right, one last story. It's a doozy. How about trading for Sam Darnold? I will point out here that this was a Bleacher Report idea before week 2. So before Cooper Rush and the Dak back week 4, allegedly timeline. Despite that, it's still really stupid. They said Dallas should trade for Sam Darnold. With, I guess, forgetting what Sam Darnold is right now, bad at football. He is on IR for at least 2 more weeks and has an $18.6-ish million salary. So you want to trade for a shitty, expensive backup QB. Make it make sense to me. With that in mind, let's have some fun. Trigger me in the comments, because I will go back and look, and I always forget I actually asked this question. Send in your absolute worst trade ideas in the comments section right now. I think Sam Darnold is what some people try to claim that Dak Prescott is. Like, bad. Sam Darnold has never been a consistent good quarterback. There have been a couple game stretches. 2019, he was, it's not the worst stat line, but like, he has the top 3 pick attached to him when he's never played like a top 3 pick. He's been bad. Frankly, especially factoring in the money, I'd rather keep Cooper Rush. I'd rather have Rush as my backup. Because neither guy is going to win you a bunch of games if he has to be the quarterback all year long. But at least Rush is cheap. Darnold's expensive and bad. So if I'm trading for him, I want to know, Carolina, what premium draft pick are you sending me? Because otherwise, that's just stupid. Now, good news. Week 2, fewer penalties for Dallas. Let's keep it going. Keep bullying the Cowboys into fewer flags, fewer push-ups for me. Keep the dad bod as well. Type flags in the comment section.